Ladies and gentlemen, and mostly dudes, it's time I expose you to my massive deck. This is Dank Living End version 2.0, updated to include Modern Horizons cards in the year 2024. Bitcoin has reached $100,000, and therefore I must unleash this deck on the friendly queues. The general plan hasn't changed, except we have a slight increase in card quality. We now have access to triomes, so our land doesn't do as much damage to us. And in general, we're just going to play like a typical Living End deck with a lot of blue cards to support Force of Negation and Subtlety. And then if that game plan doesn't work, we have a long game where we can tutor combos into our graveyard with Gifts Ungiven, and then use Bring to Light as well as Cascade Spells to cast a Living End. We can get Archangel of Thune, Spike Feeder to gain infinite life. We can get Kiki Jiki the Mirror Breaker and Deceiver Exarch to attack for infinite damage, even though I'm Magic Online. I really hate doing that. And we also have the new Lord of the Rings land cyclers that really smooth our land base. And we have, for long games, we have Scape Shift, Valakut, and just Valakut and the 13 Mountains in our deck in general is a decent combo there. And I'm playing one Learn Revealed in case I have to Bring to Light in a situation where I don't really have anything to do. And then moving on to the sideboard, I'm really just putting in cards to try to cheese wins. So Drannith Magistrate for Storm, Stony Silence to hopefully cheese Belcher, Inevitable Betrayal to cheese out kind of Eldrazi decks. 4 Leyline of the Void because that's one of the few sideboard cards that actually does anything. And then we have just some random jank. We have Madcap Experiment, Platinum Empyrean to try to cheese a game, Night of Autumn, and Besage you just kind of for general artifact and enchantment hate. So that's the deck. Let's see how we do. Oh, and I should mention, I played 2 leagues with testing versions of this deck, and I'm actually 6-4 so far in games, and I'm actually closer to being like 8-2. I had 2 opponents win with under 20 seconds left on their clock, which was unfortunate. But this deck in general goes about 500 in paper. I like to play it in paper sometimes to catch people off guard, confuse people. In general, just have fun. All right, I'll see you in the games. Okay, our opponent has won the die roll, and even though this hand doesn't do anything, it's got 3 lands and a Cascader, so we're just looking to put something in our graveyard, and this becomes pretty decent. Opponent leads on a Blood Crypt and casts a card I've never seen before. It's called Cataract Parasite. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if you control a red permanent, you may have Cataract Parasite deal 1 damage to that player. Okay, so it's kind of like a weird Orcish Bowmasters, and it's a horror. I wonder if that creature type is what matters. It's not a Zubra. Okay, Generous Ent is pretty good there. I'm going to lead on Swamp and just preserve my life total. This is a black-red deck, so there's a good chance our life total ends up mattering. I wonder if this is a Phoenix deck. Opponent attacks for 1. Not Arclight Phoenix, but the Bestow Phoenix. And honestly, if our opponent were to hit us with a Burning Inquiry, I wouldn't even be that upset. Because these Gifts Ungiven and Bring to Light are pretty much doing nothing. Okay. Strongfist Crusader, at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses a life. That might be good for us. I have pretty much every color that I need here, so I'm just going to go get... I need blue and green on different lands, so I'm going to go get Aspara's Headquarters. Okay. Alright, opponent is doing some damage to me. I'm just going to play the Triumph and pass the turn. And then hopefully he doesn't have an answer for this Living End next turn. Street Wraith isn't bad. And if we ever have to discard to hand size, I don't hate it. Opponent plays Arena of Glory and exerts it. We likely just need to survive this turn, and then we're probably going to win the game. Okay, opponent attacks without exerting anything. Might have to call a judge on that. Master of the Feast. I remember when this... Oh, crap. I accidentally have 6. Well, let's see. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. All right, so... I remember when Master of the Feast came out in Standard. This is a 3-mana 5/5 flyer, and at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent draws a card. So this is kind of like a Howling Mind deck. I'm just going to take 1 damage here from this Misty. Going to go get, I think, a Forest. And cast Charlotte's Agent, taking as little damage as possible. I took Forest because I do have 2 subtleties in my deck. Not subtlety, endurance. Although I do have 4 subtleties in the deck as well, so. And Magic Online is having a rough time with this. There we go. This food token is nice as well. If he Croxes me, I'm going to discard a Gifts Ungiven. Shield Dread. Uh-oh. That's really good. So I think what I have to do now is... I have to try to infinite combo. But in order to do that, I have to pay 2 life. So I guess that's what I'll do. I don't care about damaging my opponent. Alright, we have to survive. Well, we can't. Yeah, Shieldred does 2. And then, so I have to hope that I get a basic here or a fetch land that can find a basic. Okay, I can still cast Gifts Ungiven. Hopefully he attacks. Yes, he's attacking. No, he thinks better of it. Okay, I'm still going to cast Gifts Ungiven. And I'm going to get Spike Feeder Archangel. Is there a better play here? Could I also get Sky Turtle? No, I can't. I just have to get those 2 cards and then try to survive. I do have this Clue token, so really I'm at 7. Maybe the opponent will scoop out of Frustration. So this is like a red-black creature burn deck. Yes. All right, we did it. Take 2. Yep, that works the way I want. Game 3. No, and it's not my turn. Or it's not my opponent's turn, and this lightning bolt kills us. Darn it. Alright, well this deck lacks agency. That's one of the problems with it. Our opponent has us. So we definitely want Platinum Imperium and Madcap. Don't I want? I don't want Street Wraith. On the draw, you don't need Street Wraith as badly. Hidetsugu could get our opponent. No, because if they have Shieldred, they're going to gain a bunch of life. I think that's good enough. Alright, I'll keep this hand on the power of Search for Tomorrow. Alright. Suspend to Search for Tom. And play Valakut. I think the Boseiju might actually come up this game. I'm not in a big hurry to cast Living End here because I don't have anything in my graveyard. Opponent puts Master of the Feasts in their graveyard. However, I'm planning on one-shotting them, so I don't care about that card coming back. Rolling Vortex is a good one. Good thing we have Boseiju. Searcher tomorrow is also going to be huge. Always you. I'm clicking a little bit slow. My basement's freezing and my fingers are cold. I'm going to get Basic Island here. I'm going to kill that Boseiju this turn. I'm going to kill that Rolling Vortex with Boseiju is what I mean. Mismatch Mountains? What is going on? Okay. Well, I still think I have to go after Roiling Vortex. Deals 5 damage. Yeah, I can't survive that. But I have to survive it. No, don't Boseiju now. So we're going to take 10 damage potentially from Roiling Vortex, but we simply couldn't combo with that Relic of Progenitus in play. So we are going to get rich or die trying. As Snoop Dogg would say. I could also just not cast this, but I need the land. I absolutely need the land. I've already got green, blue, white, red, blue. I think I need a black. Or just a green. Yeah, I think what I'll do is get forest and hopefully pick off. Okay, that wasn't bad. So all we have to do is survive until our next turn. If the opponent plays anything too scary, we might have to counter it. Oh, Master of the Feast with haste. That's not good. This is really bad. Well, the problem is we have to block because Rolling Vortex is going to end us. Get rid of his graveyard. Maybe we can draw a Knight of Autumn here. Okay, that's not the worst draw I've ever seen, although that puts us to 1 and then 0. So maybe it is. Yeah, we straight up can't do anything here. Okay, we're here at round number 2. We've forgotten all about the first round. This is against Il Duendo. He's a frequent player here in the friendly leagues, and I happen to know he always plays a blue-white, kind of a white weenie hate bear style deck with Knight of the White Orchid. And this hand can't do much, but it can cast some endurances potentially, so I'm going to keep. He likes to flicker Knight of the White Orchid, but we do have 5 basics in our deck, so we can sustain that for a little bit longer than usual. I've played against him many times, and the games get very grindy. Usually he wins. And he's taken 3 minutes here to keep a hand and make a first play. Yep. All right, he went to 6. We might have a fighting chance here. I'm going to go looking for a land. That's not a land. That could be a card that we use to dig, but I'd rather just get the land sooner. And I think I'll subtlety something here. We don't need both of these gifts ungiven. He plays Stoneforge, White of the Night Orchid, the White Recruiter card. He's usually got one subtlety in the deck. There's Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to exile a blue card and counter that with subtlety. Just trying to slow him down here. Also, the equipments he can get are just like really good against. He can get Lion Sash. He's got a blue-white one that exiles, and Cauldron Complete. And don't ask me how Cauldron Complete works. I made a huge block against it the last time I played him, thinking that I would get his creature, and instead he killed every creature that was blocking it, which I didn't think that's how that card worked. Okay, Force of Negation is not what we wanted, so we need to draw a land here. Maybe we should have kept that Waker of Waves. And I'm not sure why he's taking so long. Yep, there's Ghost Quarter. He plays a lot of land destruction. He'll probably go get Lion Sash here. So our graveyard's not really going... Yep, Lion Sash, there it is. Generous Ant, that's pretty good. And I think what I'll do is get a Hedge Maze. We only have Jund colors right now, actually, so I need to get blue. Yeah, we need white and blue. And I'll play it. Although he's going to come after these, most likely with his Ghost Quarter, but on the off chance he doesn't, this gets us the lands. Maybe I should have just gotten a Hedge Maze so I could have dug before he's probably going to shoot my land here in my upkeep. No, he lets it resolve. Okay. Well, I'm just going to cast Search for Tomorrow. He's committed to playing a slow game, so I'm pretty happy with that. Get the island here. Section Tools, Manifest Dread, then attach it 2/2. Makes it 4/4. Death Touch Lifelink. That's not good. I've never seen anyone else play a deck like this guy plays. It's pretty cool. I do wonder how it goes against other decks in the format, but I've tried chatting with him before and he never chats back. And it'd be nice if I had a main board. Kind of hate card. Yes, use it. Forced. So he doesn't have Lion Sash in play. Which means a Cascade spell here would be huge. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go get the Plains. It's kind of up in the air between if I draw Demonic Dread or Ardent Plea. Charlotte's Agent, pretty good. Alright, what I'm going to do is cast Charlotte's Agent, and if he does something like Pitch Subtlety, I'll eat it with Endurance, I think. I'm really surprised he didn't put in Lion Sash, because not only is it obvious we're playing a Living End strategy here, he also knows that I play Living End. Almost exclusively. I haven't really played anything else in Modern. I'm waiting until they ban the One Ring to see if there's any decks I want to play. And if they don't ban the One Ring, I don't know how much longer I'm going to play this format. December is my downtime with work. During the summer, I have a lot more work, and also I play golf. So kind of like November, December is when I get to play the most Magic. And actually will put Charlotte's Agent back on top of my deck. And here's why. I can Gifts Ungiven at the end of his turn. And then re-Cascade. He doesn't have... I think he would have Subtlety'd if he had one. He can't Ghost Quarter me here to make me shuffle my library. That's also acceptable. I think I will get... Yeah, there's Lion Sash, but it's a little bit too late. And I can't force a negation Lion Sash because it's a creature. Yeah, he has Death Touch Lifelink now. That's pretty good. He blows up my 4th non-basic of the game. I'm going to leave Mountains in my deck. And I'll use that extra mana to sack the Clue token. That's what I refer to as the Ghost Quarter trick. Your opponent can accidentally give you mana. I used to win games in Modern because people would do that. There's Valakut. We'll play it, even though it's probably not long for this world. And I'm going to bash. Hopefully the Lion Sash leaves play here. Because then I have... No, okay. Well, I can leave up... well, the only thing I can hard cast here is Gifts Ungiven, so that's what I'll leave up. He's swanging. He's gaining 3. He doesn't play combat tricks or like Sigardizade or anything. He can just make this big. Flicker Wisp. What does he want to get with Flicker Wisp? Probably Flicker Wisp on his tools. What do I want here? That's a good question. What do I want? I don't have any double mana, so I can't cast Spike Feeder. I can't cast Kiki Jiki. His graveyard's quite good, but we don't have to worry about that. So I think what I want to do here... I have no idea. We're not close enough to Scape Shift for that to work. And none of our lands are mountains anyway. Yeah, we don't have enough lands for Scape Shift. Okay, I think I just want to go get cards I can cast that do things. I'm going to get Sky Turtle to Fairy. Fire Ice. Where's that? Come on, man. Where's Fire Ice? A, B, C, D, E, F. There it is. F. And I think Demonic Dread. Well, do I win if he can't block next turn? No, because he can block. Okay, do I have anything that just gets rid of stuff? What do I want here? And I guess Besage You. I can take out that artifact. Basically 4 removal spells. He has no cards in hand. So this is just a solitaire win at this point. Maybe I should have put Bring to Light in the pile. I think he's going to give me the Sky Turtle because he can sack a creature to equip Flicker Wisp and give a lifelink, which makes a good block. So I think he gives me Sky Turtle to Fairy. Oh no, he gives me the exact opposite. He gives me Besage You. And I can actually cast both of these now. Go to my turn. I'll play the land. And what I'll do is Flicker Wisp is a 2/1. So I'll fire. No. Cast. Fire that and him. Done. 1 blue. And I will Besage You. The thing that gets lifelink. Dissection Tools is what that's called. Alright, we win the game. That was a fun puzzle. Okay, against him, I don't want Platinum Imperium. He has exile effects. I want Knight of Autumn. I don't want Hidetsugu. Or do I? Do I want to bring in Stony Silence? I actually think I will bring in a Stony Silence. I can get it with a Bring to Light. What's bad against him? On the draw, I think I can take out an Oliphant. I don't think I need as much Cascade. Alright. Okay, this hand's pretty good. We have Generous End, which is always good to see. And really we just need to get up to 5 lands for this Bring to Light, most likely. Because he'll be at 10 life, and then we'll have Hidetsugu. And if anyone argues with me, I'm going to cry. What if Foothills is a good draw there? Although I want to keep my basics in my deck because he likes to destroy lands. Look at me. I'm the Plains deck now. He double ramps. And searches for a blue-white land. Puts a Giver of Runes into his graveyard. And a Lion Sash. Okay, so the graveyard isn't looking so hot this game. Still going to Force Cycle. I'd like to get blue. And I suppose black. So I think I want the Jund. I can't get Xander's Lunch, though. Swamp Mountain Forest. Sure. Why not? It's just going to meet its demise. Okay. Our plan is to use Waker of Waves here. If he plays a creature that's too good, I'm not going to bother. Well, I might subtlety it because if it goes on top of his library, then he can't Aether Vial it. But he's probably going to Aether Vial some Knights. He should probably eat the Ant. I don't see how that could possibly go wrong for him. That's what he decides to. And we Waker. You know, I don't really care about Ardent Plea. I'm going to take the mountain. I'm going to play the Wooded Foothills here to get a Surveil. And send the turn back. Lion Sash is just way too much of a beating. I think we're going to have to do the same thing with Bring to Light. We're just going to have to go get some artifact destruction. And I used to have Creeping Corrosion and Shatterstorm in the sideboard. I wish I still had those. I'd bring them in against him. He went up to 3 on Aether Vial, so things like Thalia are off the table. He doesn't have a Ghost Quarter in play either. Surveil. I kind of don't want to give him more food. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. I'm going to take 2 life here. Play the Curator. No, is that what I want to do? I'm going to cast Gifts Ungiven at some point. Lion Sash is almost big enough to just end me. I will take the hit. He's leaving his... I don't think he should leave that Giver of Runes in the graveyard. I think he should get the damage in. I'm never casting a Living End this game. At least until I've done a lot of clearing the way. Alright, same plan as last time. I want to get just 4 cards that interact with this board. It's too late for Stony Silence. Sky Turtle. Viseju Who Endures. Teferi. And I suppose Otawara. Otawara is kind of expensive, but I might just not have anything else that does what I want it to do. Night of Autumn. That's what we do. Night of Autumn. There we go. And then now this Bring to Light is pretty live. He gives us Teferi Sky Turtle. Okay, Gifts Ungiven's pretty good there. He does not give me Viseju. So what I want to do is cast Teferi like this. Leave up my blue mana for Sky Turtle. Bounce Lion Sash. He's probably going to end Teferi. Yep, he can exile Knight. That's fine. He's probably going to play a creature with Aether Vial, that will end Teferi. Yep, he gets rid of Viseju. That's fine. Gets rid of Gifts Ungiven. That's kind of irrelevant. And I don't want to take any more damage. So I'm just going to play that land and pass the turn. I still don't have black mana. I can go get some. I've got tap black mana here, and then I've got Scalding Tarn. I don't think... Yeah, there's Apparition. Yeah, we let that resolve. Wait. How does this work? Yeah, it just exiles it. It's not a Banishing Light. It's just exiled. So, no point in bouncing that. For cleanup, I will ditch Living End. I think I'll subtlety that with Curator. I don't like this card. And he's going up to 5 mana, it looks like, on his Aether Vial. For Solitude, most likely. Yeah, there's Solitude. Yes, I will let him exile Subtlety. He's planning on Solitude coming back and interrupting my combo. But if I do manage to get him with the Spike Feeder Archangel combo, he doesn't have enough time to prevent me from gaining tons of life. So I think that's how we're going to try to win this game. There's another Aether Vial. So we can't even counter the next Lion Sash. And there's a third Aether Vial, so he Vial flooded. And now the time has come to bounce. I get a creature here. I can hit him with 3/3. Suspend Search for Tom. I don't remember him having 4 mana creatures, so I wasn't too afraid to attack there. Although he still has Lion Sash. Yeah, that's not good. So we can't combo him now. But we can still... I'm going to see if I can waste any of his resources here by casting Gifts Ungiven. It really doesn't matter, because we're going to Scape Shift next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to go get 4 non-mountain lands out of my deck. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we've got 4 lands. This just signaled to him that, okay, after a lot of thought, the opponent decides to give us 2 lands out of the 4 lands that they could have given us. Search for Tomorrow's on suspend. That doesn't matter at all. Play Swamp. I'm actually going to cast blue, white, red, black. I'm making more mana than I need here because I won't have another chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. My spell is officially not racist. Does he have some sort of card to prevent us from searching our library? No, he does not. Scape Shift. Cast it. Sack all of my lands. I believe that was 7. 1 mountain. Valakut. 2 mountains. 3 mountains. 4 mountains. 5 mountains. 6 mountains. No, 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 no. Valakut you. Valakut you. Valakut the opponent. Valakut that guy. Valakut me. Wait, no, Valakut them. Alright. We did it. Classic modern gameplay. 1-1. See you in round 3. Play the Triumph and pass the turn. Opponent plays Glistener Elf, so this is Infect. I'm actually going to bounce that. I'm not quite sure why he takes so long. Maybe he's playing from some sort of a jerry-rigged Furby where he has to give it voice commands to do what he wants. Alright, that was a really good draw. And we're going to use that generous ent to go get a forest, which will allow us to cast Charlotte's Agent. Yeah, he's playing this 2-mana Ichorclaw Mirror. Probably because he doesn't want to buy Inkmoth Nexuses, I guess. So I need to get a blue. Yeah, Breeding Pool is the only land I have here, actually. Teferi's also good. Yes, and I think actually what I'll do instead is bounce that with Teferi. This might get him to commit both creatures to the board for next turn. And then I can get them both with Living End. There's the mirror again. Try to put something in my graveyard. That's a good one. Charlotte's Agent. Cast Living End. And I suppose on the off chance I need to do that again, I'll bounce Charlotte's Agent back to the top of my library. That will also be a blue card for Force of Negation. And because of Endurance, any subsequent Living Ends won't have any creatures on his side. Top. Subtlety gives you the choice between top and bottom. That's an easy top. Opponent casts a Glistener Elf. And I'm going to leave back a blocker. And I'm going to leave a blue card in my hand as well. There's Scale Up. I'm just going to counter that. All right, he concedes. He concedes from the entire match. Okay. All right, we're 2-1. Round number 4 with Dank Living End, and besides our repressed memory from the first round, we're undefeated. We're going to keep this hand because it has lands and Gifts Ungiven. And Street Wraith could be anything. Opponent revealed Kahira the Orphan Guard. I've never seen this card played in Modern before, so this should be a fun match. Oops, let's not forget to suspend. That was a close one. And if he does anything too threatening, I can cycle the Street Wraith to try to hit a blue card, or a pitch card, I mean. 4 out of 88 is pretty good odds. Okay, he's got Swamp Forest Island. No reason not to Street Wraith. Glass Dust Hulk. So I need to use this troll to go get a blue-white land. So that would be our Esper Triumph. Which is Rafine's Tower. Yeah, Rafine's Tower. Play it. Cancel. Oh, we're in our upkeep still. We would have done the same thing no matter what. What could our opponent be playing? All of his cards have to be... Narset's a good one. All of his cards have to be... Or his creatures, anyway. I guess he's just a control deck, because his creatures have to be Cat, Elemental, Nightmare, Dinosaur, or Beast. But there's no limit on Narsets. Okay. Besides, you can't hit Planeswalkers either, unfortunately. And the opponent gets the One Ring. This game is going bad. if he's not able to interact with our graveyard, then we could Gifts Ungiven into an infinite combo. Cast. I'll get black because I don't need red, and that's the only color I don't have. Just straight up casting Lorien Revealed would be terrible, so I won't do that. And what I'll do here is play this land. No! Oh, I should have left it. Oh man, that was so bad. Oh, I should have left it up for Gifts Ungiven. But I've preserved my life total. And at the end of the day, isn't that what matters? Okay, he's got Orim's Chant now. This guy's main board hates us pretty good. Cycle the Glass Dust Hulk. Force Negation would be pretty clutch here. That's not it. Okay, so this is probably looking like it's going to have to be a Valakut win. Well, we're going to have to get through that Orim's Chant as well. And because I can't draw 3 cards, I'm going to Island Cycle for a Hedge Maze. Cascade spell here would be good. Force Negation is a little bit too late. Play the Hedge Maze. We can get a subsequent ring. Put this mountain in our graveyard. Still have a lot of them in our deck. I'm going to hold up Hardcast Force of Negation. If he goes land 3 minutes of Fairy with Counterspell backup, I'll probably leave the game. Who else is ready for the One Ring to get banned? Okay, he doesn't have untapped 5th land. So he can't 3 minutes of Fairy with protection. Unless he has Spell Pierce. And I guess we'll Gifts here and just do a value Gifts to get some cards going. Okay. So let's think about this. Narset is at 1, so we could snipe that with a Fire Ice. But then what else do we get? That's not very threatening. I want to leave Scape Shift in my deck. I want to put pressure on my opponent, so I'm going to get Teferi. How else can we pressure him? Let's see, what is our hand? We have Force of Negation. We can just straight up fight through one counterspell, but I kind of think our opponent has more than one counterspell, and I'm counting the Orim's Chant as a counterspell because that's what it is. So I guess we get the things. Can Teferi bounce other planeswalkers? Artifact, creature, or enchantment? No. We can't bounce the One Ring. And then force it. So yeah, Teferi. Otawara. Seiju doesn't do it. We already have a Sky Turtle. Fire Ice. And I guess another Force of Negation. That's just a value gifts. Just try to make it so that no matter what happens, he's forced to give us card advantage, basically. Okay, it gives us Otawara. Puts Teferi in the graveyard, along with Force of Negation. Sky Turtle can only bounce creatures, but it can rebuy anything. So I want to try to keep Sky Turtle in my hand as long as possible. 1, 2. We have 3 blue if we play Otawara. And we got to be pretty fast because it is... Okay, our opponent might be a little bit of a novice. Because I can still cast that in their upkeep. And I'm definitely going... Oh, I didn't play... Well, I can hard cast... Or I can pitch Force Negation. Yeah. We're just going to have to let them draw with the ring. We're going to have to fight over the next ring. So what I'm going to do here is fire Narset and opponent. And we at least have Force, Hard Pitch, and then end of turn we can rebuy with Sky Turtle and get something good. If he doesn't do anything, we can also cycle this land. Okay, so if I had one more blue card in my hand, what I could do is pitch, cast, Force of Negation. If he has a counterspell, I could rebuy the Force of Negation that's in my graveyard. He has 10 cards in hand. So I'm just going to try to hard cast this. This wastes the fewest cards if it doesn't work. And it works. All right. He's afraid of getting Living End next turn. So he doesn't want to tap any more mana. Although if Teferi resolved, then it would get bounced by Otawara. Okay, this is going somewhere. Our opponent has to discard to hand size. No creatures in their graveyard. Thundering Falls is a decent draw. I'm just going to play it and start looking at what we can do. Anything on top of our deck we can get. I'm going to just keep that there, though. Because in the future, if I get 9 mana, I might be able to cast that with Sky Turtle backup. And if he's playing Prismatic Ending, I kind of don't think he's playing Energy Wrath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 lands. So 2 more land drops, and we can cast 3/3 drops all in one turn. Cosmic Rebirth. I'll just let that happen. I don't really care too much. I'm pretty much just fighting over rings at this point. Although, I mean, maybe I should have pitched the Sky Turtle to try to fight with Force Negation, but then he would have had his whole turn to do anything he wanted. Opponent takes 3. Hidetsugu might get him. In the sideboard games. I might also win on time, because it doesn't look like he can kill us quickly, so I've got to start playing fast. There's the One Ring. I will fight over this. He can't counter this. He draws. I will try to fight over the One Ring. And cast the One Ring. And it worked. Opponent has 9 cards in hand. And they're stuck with that One Ring that has 4 counters. If I can do that one more time. There's the Ardent Plea. I'm going to start by cycling Curator. There's no way that a 4/4 resolving when he has 7 cards in hand is going to do anything. Alright, it doesn't do anything. Huh. Alright, well, who's the dummy now? It's me. I forgot I can't draw because of Narset. Probably just has Counterspell here. He doesn't. Alright, so discarding the Waker of Waves there was a good idea. Probably not. He probably has a Wrath for this. Maybe he'll forget about Ward on Colossal Sky Turtle. Colossal Sky Turtle has a hidden ability called Ward that you only learn about after you target it on Magic Online. Ring knocks our opponent down to 9. He gets a fresh dig here with this Narset. There's the 3rd ring in the top 27 cards of his deck. That's a little bit lucky. Oh, no, not really, because he has Narset. So that's going to slow us down a little. And unfortunately, bouncing the ring doesn't remove protection, because nothing about this card is any fair at all. I can always bounce my own Sky Turtle with Otawara. Ward is abilities my opponents control and spells. So I can bounce the Sky Turtle with Otawara and get something back out of our deck, or out of our graveyard. And I can't cycle this card now. Street Wraith does nothing. So I'm going to go to his turn and cycle one of these cards. Probably the Street Wraith. And now I'm winning the clock. That comes up quite often on Magic Online when you're playing against control deck. My favorite thing about Magic Online is the clock. How many times have you been playing in paper and your opponent's just really slow and then you go to turns? Yep. I'm going to cycle now. And then if I don't draw anything, I can F6. Put that on the bottom. Alright, subtlety's good. No F6ing. He only has one ring left in his deck, so if he doesn't have wrath effects, he's in trouble. He's digging. What does he find? Supreme Verdict. Uh-oh. But I do have Subtlety that I can cast at the end of turn. Do I want to save my own Sky Turtle? Is that better? I think I'd rather save my Sky Turtle. And too bad I'm 1 mana away from casting Subtlety at the end of turn. This also gives me a Scry. Sky Turtle rebuying cards is really good. This is also making him think, which is doing clock damage. Okay. We can't do anything about that. Does he pay for it? If he pays for it, that taps 2 more mana. That he doesn't have anything to that he doesn't have to spend on counterspells next turn. This is a pretty good game. Put on top. And this is why I hold mountains in my hand as well. We've already drawn a card this turn, so cycling does nothing. Opponent discards to hand size again for probably the 4th time this game. There's Valakut, and then we pass. Opponent goes to 6. They tap out for their final 1 ring. So there's no more 1 rings in their deck unless they shuffle their library into their graveyard into their library. I'm going to cycle. Okay, that's not a good draw. I'm going to cast the Subtlety to get it in play, hopefully. Even though I can't attack them next turn, you gain protection, so I can still attack Narset. Opponent has 7 cards in hand and 5 mana. They elected not to counter that. This looks like a Subtlety. It is. But now they're tapped out, which means a Cascade spell off the top will do a lot of work. Misty Rainforest. If I get commercial district, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get it because I don't need that many mountains to kill him with escape shift. I'll leave endurance on top. That wastes time. I'm 2 minutes ahead at this point. And I have absolutely nothing to do, so I'm going to hit 6. Opponent plays another North set, so they can dig for another counterspell. They have to hit me 7 more times with this Solitude, which is going to take a lot of clock. Draw Endurance, play the land, pass the turn. And maybe we can ambush Viper this Solitude with Endurance. One ring knocks our opponent down to nothing because they didn't use it. Solitude attacks. Endurance is sacrificed to the counterspell gods. He doesn't seem like he's playing counterspells. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take away his graveyard in case it's a resource for him. I actually probably should not have done that, because that put another ring back in his deck. Prismatic ending the Endurance, that's fine. I wasn't planning on anything good happening to us for the rest of the game, so. Anything that makes our opponent click buttons and use clock is good for us. Yep. That also counts. Counterspell enters the reveal card zone, so our next spell is getting clapped. Basic Island is one of the few lands on our deck left that doesn't help our Valakut cause. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains. I guess we could play Dryad of the Elysian Grove in this deck to make our Valakut a little bit more lethal. I have more lands in play, so I'm winning. That Merfolk that makes everything a blue would be really good against us. Puts Kahira to hand, finally. I'm going to go get a mountain here. I'm going to make it Stomping Ground, because if I draw one of those other mountains, I could theoretically cycle it if it ever mattered. And I can also an opponent controls, so I can't bestage you my own stuff to get more mountains. Mountain here would be a good draw. Subtlety is not horrible. He does have Counterspell, but that at least forces him to use more time. And for those of you that think winning by time is dishonorable, I'm still going to do it if I can. Yep. Opponent can click all of their permanents. I'm going to force him to decide right now. I could have held it on, see if I could snipe a creature or a planeswalker later in the turn, but we knew about Counterspell. That's fine. It was worth it to get the Counterspell out of their hand because they don't seem like they have a whole lot of them. He's been playing more like Prismatic Endings, Solitude, and Supreme Verdict, which doesn't help against... There's a One Ring. Okay, whatever. So we can't Scape Shift now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so any mountains off the top now, we can shoot down the Kahira. Boy, that extra cycle that we didn't get is really haunting us. There's Orange Chant, that's fine. That's a mountain. No, there's no more swamps in our deck. Okay, well, joke is still on them. Alright, note to self, don't cycle any more trolls. We're down to a starting deck size of 60 cards. That was a little bit of a misplay. I mean, it was more than a little bit of a misplay. Cosmic Rebirth. Generosant. We've got to have some Mountain Forest left in our deck. Heck yeah. Play. Shoot Kahira. Yes, use the ability. Opponent has no clock. They have to deal 14 damage. And they only have 8 minutes left to win 2 games. And I will use this Besage You just to be annoying. Cosmic Rebirth gains some life. Solitude for no value. Maybe we shouldn't have put those cards back in our opponent's deck. Time to be annoying. Alright, that was pretty good. That took about 8 seconds off the clock. Come on, Mountain. Well, might as well waste some more time. There's Orange Chant. No, because we can't. Maybe putting the cards back in their deck was a genius move because it gave them false hope that they could win the game. In time. They're going to win this game, but can they win the next one? Everything they do here is eating into their ability to win the next game. I disagree with him casting anything whatsoever besides counter spells. This is his last ring because we exiled 2 and there's 1 in his graveyard. Mountain's a great draw. Use the ability. Yes. Boom. And now he actually has to gain life. Uses the ring, goes up to 3 counters. And there's 2 Solitudes in his graveyard now. No, there's only 1. There's Teferi, I don't care. So I can't cast anything off of Bring to Light now. We have been at a dearth of Bring to Lights this game. Which is just fine with me now. Opponent has 11 cards in hand. They discard to hand size. The MODO clock restores my faith in justice in this world. No, I don't have any interest in casting that. I just want to dig for more mountains. Scape Shift? Why not? Okay, we're going to sacrifice any lands that aren't Valakut or mountains. Alright, he counters it. Fine with me. That took more time off the clock. Oh no, he drew another Solitude, it looks like. Yep, there's Solitude. So unfortunately, that's going to let him end the game. But he still has to win another game with less than 4 minutes on the clock. And anything I can put on the stack, I will. Cast Curator of Mysteries. Alright, we have a blocker for now. And this forces him to either jump attack, stop attacking, or spend time killing it. Another Solitude here wins the game pretty quick. Okay, that's fine. Still takes 2 hits for us to lose. That Curator of Mysteries took 30 seconds off the clock. There's another Solitude. So I just want to preserve all my time here. Okay, time to sideboard. Okay, so what I did here was side out the Living End, side in Stony Silence and Inevitable Betrayal to slow him down on Ring and also get Solitude out of his deck. I think those cards are good enough. I don't need to combo him to win the game. I probably don't even need to Living End him to win the game. I just need cards that I can cast. So for that reason, I took out a Gifts Ungiven and a Bring to Light. I'm not going to bring in Drain with Magistrate, though, because that doesn't hit him. And Platinum Imperium Madcap Experiment still doesn't do anything. Because he's likely to have, like, Path to Exile and Supreme Verdict and stuff. Yes, we'll keep that. Because I can force a negation something. That's the only reason. And then if I draw a white land, I can cast Knight of Autumn, which will waste some time. He does have a creature permanently in the commander zone, so we do have to be careful about that. And what is he doing here? Deafening Silence? Yeah, I don't care. I'm not trying to do anything. I almost don't think he should have brought that card in, because that just makes the game take a long time. Well, Demonic Dread was not a good one. And my hand does run the risk of doing absolutely nothing. Generous is a great draw. I'm going to go get a white-green forest. Forest Plains Island. No, I want... Well, I can't get a... So I need black mana to cast Demonic Dread. So I'm going to get... Actually, I'd rather just cast Knight of Autumn. So Forest Island Mountain, no. Forest Plains Island, yes. And then next turn, I can Knight of Autumn. And I'm going to force a negation pretty much anything I can. There's also an argument I should just Knight of Autumn gain 3 life. Or 4 life. How much is it? 4 life. I'm going to play the Triumph. And then I'm just going to keep passing the turn. I've got hard cast. Force negation up. I don't have to do anything. Alright, I'll go for Knight of Autumn. It's probably not going to resolve. But then I can Besiege you next turn and potentially Charlotte's Agent on the same turn. Opponent's thinking. They had a good think about it. Alright, they got 1:37 left to deal 20 damage. Cosmic Rebirth to Silence, okay. Good thing I have Besiege you. Hedge Maze, that's not the exact land that I needed, but it's pretty good. Attack with Knights of Autism. There's Subtlety. Maybe I should have just gained the life. Alright, can they deal a lot of damage in 49 seconds? We'll find out. And the thing is, they can't just mash F6 because they're a counterspell deck. There's the One Ring, but we have Force. And this is probably enough to win here. Definitely now, I think. Seiju, target Deafening Silence. Get the Swamp. Charlotte's Agent. Now they have to think, if they counterspell... Oh, I don't have Living End, I have Betrayal. Okay. We get our own Subtlety. Or Solitude. And the opponent runs out of time. How unfortunate. We're all so sad for them. Okay, I forgot to unpause. We're back here, match number 3. We're against, looks like an Affinity deck. We got a pretty decent hand here with a lot of Force Negations. think I'm just going to force the cranial plating. Alright, let's get a blood crypt. Yes. Just going to force that. Not really the card I want to force, but it's not breach. So I think anything we can get with this force negation is pretty good. And an endurance would be really good. I'm not banking on casting Archangel of Thune. If we're going to win with Graveyard combo, it's probably going to need to be Kiki Jiki. So what I can do next turn, if I draw a land, is Gifts Ungiven for 4 Cascade spells, including Bring to Light. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to suspend that. And now I'm going to cast Fire on Emery. Just to slow our opponent down. He's having a little bit too much fun over there. And this deck snowballs really hard. The more artifacts they have in play, they become way more lethal because of Urza's Saga tokens. So we do have to kill him fairly soon. Or not. We're already 3-1, so in my opinion, this is a terrific win. Okay. There's a Darksteel Citadel. A Cascade spell here kills that as well. And our graveyard is pretty good compared to his. Well, actually, if we Living End, he gets an Emery back, and we only get 2 creatures. Yeah, I'm grasping at straws here. We need to draw a land, like, immediately. Besiege would also be okay. These lands are indestructible, so Besiegeing those does nothing. We go to 11. Land here is critical. Or a Cascade spell. That's neither. Okay, that bounces his creature, which could buy us some time. We do get a land next turn. So buying time here is the name of the game. Off of our Search for Tom. Okay, I'm just going to bounce this to use my mana. He can't replay it. There's Emery. Fills up his graveyard. Oh, Thought Monitor. That's not the best. Now Living End brings that back. I think if we get a Plains, we can cast Archangel of Thune, which might give him some trouble. So I'll do that. And if we naturally draw a land here, we can Archangel. The Sage is a good draw. But I think I'm going to play the Archangel. And now we're a Bring to Light away from winning. He might have a removal spell. Yeah, and the problem is this construct token is going to be humongous. He gets the boots. +1/+0, haste and ward 1. So unfortunately, I think I just have to gain life here and pray for a Cascade spell. Or some sort of time-wasting card. But, I mean, time wasting doesn't matter against Affinity. Yeah. That's a lot of damage. Okay, does he cast Thought Monitor? Casting Thought Monitor would be pretty good here for us, because now he doesn't get it back if we do have a Cascade spell. Okay, these aren't lethal if I block one, which I will. Archangel Thune has lifelink. The trigger does nothing. And I wish I still had that Shatterstorm or Creeping Corrosion. Well, that also does nothing, so I'm going to go to the next game. We're mega dead. And I will bring in Madcap, Hidetsugu, Knight of Autism, Beseiju, Platinum, and Stony Silence. I have lost with Stony Silence and play before. It's not the best, but I mean, like, what else do you want? I'll take out the forces. They're not that good. Still need to cut 3 cards. Because I don't care about Living End as much. I'll go 2 and 2. Why not? It'll just be a mystery what's going to happen. Fire Ice was pretty good there. Take out Demonic Dread. This is our last chance to get somebody with Hidetsugu. Artifact decks have no problem messing with Living End, so I'm not really that keen on resolving it. If it happens, great, but it probably won't happen. And I guess I'll just take out a troll. Yes, I'd like to play first. This hand's pretty good. I don't have either of the mana required to cast Teferi, but I do have a Demonic Dread, so I'm going to keep. Start with Commercial District. Actually, I'll start with Street Wraith. Okay, that solves our mana problems. Put that on top. Kind of like drawing lands here. There's a drum. Hopefully no Ornithopters. That's exactly what I didn't want. Mishra's Bauble. They can make another mana. Another Ornithopter. Okay. This is quite the start. And an Emery. Opponent has a build your own Mox Opal. They did mill their Tormod's Crypt. And he can cast it next turn. See what I draw for the turn. I knew I was going to draw that. Alright. Hedge Maze. Don't need any more lands. And I need to Mountain Cycle for a mountain that makes white. He gets the Crypt. Springleaf Drum. He doesn't have any big pressure in play yet. Well, that just changed. So I would like to hit a Living End here just to wipe the board, but the thing is we don't know what we're going to get. And really that is what makes this the best deck. Because I'll get back to you on that. Okay, we need a white mountain. Out Mountain Plains. I guess I want Rogaine Triumph. And let's figure out what happens. Cast the Stony Silence. This is your last chance to use your Tormod's Crypt. I should have brought in Kataki's War's Wage. I should have that card on my deck, I think, instead. He gets our graveyard. So if I bounce the Thought Monitor with Teferi at some point, he like can't cast it for a while. He can still improvise though, unfortunately. Loses to Memnite. I can counter a big creature here by pitching with Subtlety and Teferi. Okay, that's going to make some big artifacts. So what we need to do is cast a Fairy next turn. Yeah, I don't care. We need to cast a Fairy next turn. I played a turn too slow. I should not have gotten this. I should have gotten a Sacred Foundry. Okay, that has potential. That could be a board wipe if nothing else. No. And actually, let's Knight. And take out Urza's Saga. Those constructs he can make are absolutely humongous. And then we can potentially use Teferi. I don't think we have enough time to use Teferi, bounce Knight, and take out more artifacts. But he's at least stuck at 2 lands. Oh, he doesn't want none. I think I'll take it for now. If I draw a white mana that I can play untapped, then I can do that trick. Especially now that he has another Urza Saga. There's the Crypt, but he can't use it. And it doesn't really do anything anymore. Untapped white would be swell. Okay. Also, that just wins the game next turn. So now I will block, and if anything gets too out of hand, I'll just... Oh no, it doesn't win the game because I don't have... One, two, three, four. So I need 8 lands to one-shot him. Okay. So have I played a land yet this turn? I'm going to review the game log. I played a land this turn, so that doesn't help. So next turn I can gifts. So in that case, I'm going to cast Teferi. Bounce Urza Saga. Sky Turtle's a great draw. Now I will block. And yeah, he's got the same Urza Saga that I bounced. That's a Teferi. That's at me. So I can save Teferi. Do I want to bounce my own Knight of Autumn? Yes, I do. Because I can Gifts Ungiven, get 2 lands no matter what. Oh man, what a rush. Footed Woody. Okay. Black. Red. I'm just going to go get land. I'm going to get Plains. I'm not going to get Mountain. Forest. I guess getting Beseiju here is kind of free. Beseiju. And then I guess I just want a non-mountain. It doesn't matter. We have enough mountains. Plains Island Swamp, sure. Rafine's Tower. Done. Okay. Play the Plains. Knight of Autumn. Kill the flyer. Urza Saga can't make creatures fast enough to kill me here. Unless he can get rid of the Stony Silence. Don't forget to plus Teferi. So they can make a Saga token, but they can't equip this. Unless they can kill Stony Silence. If they can kill Stony Silence, then things might get unwinnable. Yeah, he can get his Thought Monitor back. Can he cast it? Yeah, he can. Okay. When it enters draw 2, but he won't have any counter spells available on my turn. Unless he kills Teferi, which I'm not going to allow to happen, if I can help it. Dispatch. Okay. That did its job. He can only attack for 1. Go to our turn. Mountain wasn't the best. plus the fairy. Play land. Scape shift. Sacrifice. All of our lands. And then we go get Valakut. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mountains. Don't pay the life, don't pay the life, don't pay the life. No life. I don't have a life. So we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. We got enough. And now we have to agree. Put in the graveyard. Opponent needs a life gain spell. And we did it on to game 3. Okay, I'm experimenting. I'm bringing in all 4 copies of Leyline of the Void in exchange for 4 Street Wraiths. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's a good hand. We've got a turn 3 Demonic Dread. And it has Memnite and nothing else. Bring to Light's not bad. I'll play the tower. Urza Saga could be a problem. Xander's Lounge is a good draw as well. And the reason I'm playing tap lands is I'm not banking on living and getting anything out of my graveyard. Usually these artifact decks are too good at hating that out. Although I will land cycle here now with Generous Net. Actually, do I need to? That makes red. That makes black. Cycle Curator. Madcap Experiment, that's actually pretty good. As long as we don't draw a Platinum Empyrean. Cross your fingers that we do not see an 8-mana artifact in our next couple draw steps. Alright, we didn't. And we don't actually have green mana. But in order to waste some time, I'm going to Demonic Dread. So I could have got 2 more creatures if I'd been less conservative with my lands. But I did keep my life total high, and I anticipate this game going a long time, and there's not even a guarantee that we get Living End. We got Living End. So I'm okay with that. These artifact tokens are going to get huge, probably. We do have reasonable pressure. He's going to make 2 3/3s here, and then they're going to be like 5 5s, probably. Yep, Urza Saga goes away. He's probably going to make another creature. Little does he know that I don't know what I'm doing. Literally, because if I cast Charlotte's Agent, I don't know what'll happen. He can use this summoning sick creature to make mana with Springleaf Drum. And hopefully he didn't bring in Grafdigger's Cage. Because it normally does nothing against Living End, but it sadly does a lot against Madcap Experiment. Oh my god, I forgot Madcap Experiment can hit Charlotte's Agent. Well, darn. That was a big oopsie by me. I think I'll still go for it, though. Also Glass Dust Hulk. Okay, yeah, that was terrible. I totally forgot to sideboard. Who cares? I totally forgot what my sideboard did. Okay, who's the expert? Clearly me. I think if I draw a land here, I'll still do it. I'm guaranteed to get a blocker. Okay, we have about a 1 in 7, 1 in 6 maybe chance of this getting the card we need. Okay, we got a Glass Dust Hulk and did a lot of damage to ourselves. Oh my gosh. My plan here is hopefully I can block it, Charlotte's Agent, into my second Living End. And then maybe that will win the game. I don't know what I'm doing. That was just a total punt. It's a little bit late at night here. I've been playing all 5 rounds of this deck back to back. Hopefully he can't just one-shot me. Oh my gosh. I forgot Madcap Experiment did damage because when you cast it, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to get Platinum Empyrean. Oh man. What a win this is going to be. Okay, Thought Monitor is... Thought Monitor is a card you can play against us. Hopefully he doesn't have a bunch of little weenie artifacts he can dump out. But we're dead in 2 turns no matter what. So... If he can play all the cards in his hand, then he kills us here. There's 1. If he has 3 free artifacts, he wins the game. And if he doesn't, he probably still wins the game. Got a block. Okay, another land for Bring to Light would actually get us Living End guaranteed. A non-tap land here would be pretty swell. Leyline of the Void isn't quite what we needed. Okay. Moving to Forest Cycle to get Commercial District. Hopefully we put... I was going to say, hopefully we see Living End on top, or Stony Silence on top. Okay, here goes. There's a 33% chance this works. And 33% of the time it works every time. Okay, hopefully our opponent doesn't have some sort of artifact burn spell. 2 food tokens there is pretty clutch. And then I'm feeling like if we get to use this Bring to Light, I go get Thune and just leave everybody back and threaten to become huge. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm already huge. I have 78 cards in my deck. But I could also have 78 billion power on the battlefield. In my imagination. Thought Monitor doesn't do it here because we have reach. Oh no, is this that big improvised creature that can't be blocked? Yeah, it's the Cannoneer. It's the Kappa Cannoneer. I hate this card. It has Ward 4. Oh no, another Leyline of the Void. Well, if those were the street wraiths we took out, we would have died. So this deals 8 damage. It's going to be a 5/5. Whenever another artifact, so he could potentially go up to 8, 9, and I can only gain. No, what's in my deck still? This has Ward 4. The problem is it can't be blocked. So if we let him untap, we lose. So the question is, do we just go up to 9 and hope that that's enough life? I mean, if we go up to 9 and we hope that that's enough life, then what else am I even hoping to happen? Because in the next turn, I have to Bring to Light. And I guess we're hoping we go land, Scapeshift win. I'm going to cycle. Okay. But I can't really use that. I'm trying to think if I have any cards on my deck that do anything about this. Ward 4 is such a beating. Nope. Okay. Okay. If he doesn't kill us this turn, I think we have the Scapeshift plan. There's one artifact. Hopefully he has 2 lands in hand. Oh, he goes to combat. I'm just going to gain the life now. Six damage doesn't do it. Okay, this is looking like a Scapeshift win now, unless he has a counterspell. There's a Boseiju. I mean, we could just kill this with Boseiju, and that way we're not risking anything to counterspells. Is that what we do? He does. I mean, does he play counterspells? If he plays a counterspell, we lose. Boseiju can't be countered. So Ward 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if he has Consign to Memory, that doesn't do anything because this is a activated ability. And then we can simply... Yeah, okay, here's what we do. We go to 2. I'm just going to get a basic. We have enough. Basic mountain. He's got all the Springly Strums in his deck. Discard. Pay ward 4. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm dead to a counterspell. Whereas he can't counter Boseiju. I'm going to attack with my creatures that don't have reach. In case there's some sort of artifact equipment that gives flying. We still have 5 minutes left. We have plenty of time. Yeah, that's cranial plating, but that doesn't give flying or trample. And he only needs to be at 18 or less. By the way, I probably didn't show it on camera, but I took out Street Wraiths for these ley lines to try to get his Emery. And because my life total matters a lot in this matchup. And I'm just saying I'm a genius. You don't have to agree with me, but it's true. All right, that doesn't have trample. He's hoping I'll forget to block. I will double block. He's got another Kappa Cannon here, but it's too late for that. Okay. We should still have enough mountains in our deck. Gonna get a non-mountain island. Forest Plains Island, good. Play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's escape shift win. White, black, green, red, blue. We only need 4 for escape shift. All right, careful I don't click on something else. Escape shift. Cast escape shift. Sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all green. Good. We get Valakut. And then 1, 2, 3. Ketria is Forest Island Mountain. 4. Stomping Ground. Steam Vents. No, no, no. Order all the triggers. Target our opponent. And surveil for good measure. All right, 4-1 with Dank Living End. If anyone tells you this deck is horrible, I contest that it could win at least 3 or 4 100 Grand Prix in a row. I'll open the chest. Anyone still watching deserves to see the chests. Open all of these. I'll show you my chest. 40 play points and nothing. Well, I'm glad I finally got that on camera. Thanks for watching.